on, mate.
Often, when we're talking to buyers and sellers, we give the analogy of our favorite school teacher when you're selecting your agent. And today, we're going to go back on your favorite school teachers. What a topic. I love it. Let's talk about it. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Minutes. Myself, Michael Burgio, Mark Novak, episode 1478, talking about school teachers, your favorite school teacher, and what the heck does that have to do with real estate? Mark, I know it's been a long time for you, very, very long time for you. Do you remember, like, you had traditional teachers back then, didn't you? You would have had a teacher,
No, we just had
or
the
you're on a farm and you just
yeah, I
learned.
was on a farm. I was homeschooled. It was my
Yeah.
mum. Um, oh yeah, I think we all remember that school teacher. I had Mr. Noah. I met his son a couple of months ago, who's an accountant now. I had Mrs. Thompson, our maths teacher. Actually, one was maths, and they were both maths. My favourite teachers were both maths teachers. What about you?
I think Mr. Ray Rankin from Balgala, he was probably one of the first teachers as well to be like calling me Burgio. He loves my surname and he'd always be like, hey, you, Burgio. And then that caught on through school. And, but he was one of those teachers, like, it, over the years, you can have teachers teaching the same topic, and some you just learn from, and it doesn't feel like they're teaching. Like some days you'll go to class, and it's like, get the book out, read this, and it's such a drain, and it's boring. You don't feel like you once you leave that class, the information's gone, and then you just get those teachers where it's like you love going to their class, time flies, you actually digest the information or you partake in the class. And it's, yeah, Ray Rankin, he was at Bally. I'm sure if anyone's watching this and they've gone to Bally, you would have had him. Like, I would meet people 20 years older and they're like, yep, we had Ray Rankin. He was there for a good, probably 40 plus years. So, yeah, it was amazing.
And but then you
Just,
think of the opposite ones, and you think about
oh,
that friction all the day, all the time, and you think about going into that thing, and you think they're all just teaching topics. You know, what is it relevant to whether you like the topic or didn't like the topic? The way you were educated is so different. And I love school teachers. I don't think they we don't pay homage enough to what those guys do. They change and shape our worlds, and love out to all the school teachers in the school systems at the moment. It's a bit like a nurse. I think to do a job like that, you got to have a huge heart. You're certainly not doing it for the money. You just got a big heart. And you just love what you do. So respect to the school teachers out there.
now, why are we talking about this? We're talking about this because quite often you'll be with prospective clients and they just talk when they're trying to pick an agent. They're like, you're all the same. I just want the agent who's going to be the lowest fee or tells me the highest price for my property. And a lot of the time when I hear that, I sort of bring up to the client going, did you have a favorite school teacher? And like, yeah, there was this one that he was great.
Everyone
I learned
does.
this, and
Yeah.
then you sort of go, well, were there teachers that you didn't learn from? You didn't like, yeah. We go, well, not all teachers are the same, and that's the same as real estate agents. We're all real estate agents, but there are good ones and bad ones, and there's different scales of good. Are they good because they get great pricing, but they're maybe not the best person, or are they a good person? And they also get good pricing, or good person, bad pricing. Like there's different levels to good and why you would pick an agent. And a lot of the time where it's to do with the rapport with what that agent, you want to be able to trust that agent in the pricing, just like you would trust your favorite school teacher if they would lead you down a path or say, hey, you should probably stop doing that. It's a bit naughty. it's going to lead you in a bad direction, you would trust them. And a lot of it's the same with real estate agents.
And also, I think the topics like when you're selecting your agent, it's not only important to get the agent that's relevant to your type of property. So I think you used the word before, household agent.
Yep.
There's your national agents. There's your commercial agents. There's your residential agents. There's your commercial agents that don't know how to handle off the plan. There's your residential agents that don't know how to handle off the plan. So I think that there's not only there's that personality thing with who you get along with and who can execute the sale most efficiently to get the highest price, but I think it's the right agent for the right job. We're doing some work at the moment with some clients, and it's a project. 2 clients, and both projects will require amalgamation of units or land. And the agents they're interviewing are wildly different. And when we're here on the outside looking at their agent selection of for one of them, 5 agents they've had through, 3 of the agents were like, why would you even talk to that agent? Wrong agent for the wrong for that job.
It's
Totally
like
wrong.
getting
So
your history teacher to tutor you for your maths exam.
yeah,
That's like the simplest way to put it. They could be the number one history teacher,
yeah.
but have a maths exam. And I think just to reiterate what you said with the categories and how a lot of people just go, all teachers, but no, there's math teachers, history teachers. Now, real estate, you have existing apartments and homes.
Yep.
Then you have commercial property, which is retail shops, offices, warehouses. Then you have development sites, which is basically you turning that you want to develop a property, turn one property into multiple properties, change the use of a property. Very different scales of development. Fits more in the commercial world, but that's a category. Then you have off the plan project sales, where you would see like your Meriton. They have a very big, they sell units off the plan, townhomes, house and land. They're your categories, history, math, science. And now a lot of agents, 99% of agents would be your domestic secondhand houses and units, then commercial, and then more specialized off the plan. Now you can think of, you may just think, oh, everyone can do the same, but it's really not like that. Most 99% of officers only do residential off the plan. You're less common to see commercial only. 20, 30 years ago, there would be 2 distinct walls between a residential office and a commercial office. But over the last decade,
didn't really exist.
Yep, we were one of the first to start commercial within a residential and reached number 1 of New South Wales. So we've seen a lot of people copying that model, bringing it all under one roof. But
yeah, so commercial agents just did commercial properties. They never did resi agents, residential just did residential, never did commercial. They never blended. But what was interesting was my dad did both. So back in the 60s and 70s, they did both, and in the 80s, and then it just had this huge divide where offices just didn't cross pollinate with residential and commercial. Now they do again.
Yes, and you still have agents specializing, but under the one company that does both, because there's merit to. Then you've got your project sales, and this is where you would see like Meriton. They have a very big project sales real estate brand and office, but they don't do commercial and they don't do domestic sales. They just sell their stock that they build. So
we smashed it with Meriton.
Yep. And they're a good way to look at it. We were very successful. We got their number 1 agent for 2 years running with a project they did in DY, selling the most amount of stock. Every agent on the Northern Beaches was given the same tools to sell, and we sold the most, which was very good because and it wasn't even close. It was like 90-1 we did very well. We love DY, and when a great builder and a great project come into town, we want to be a part of it. But they're just like teachers, agents, builders. When you're buying off the plan, there are good builders, bad builders, and to look into. But back to what we're talking about today: good teachers, good agents. What are some key differences but similarities when talking to clients, Mark, about explaining it?
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
Neither do I. I sort of lost it there. I was about to ask two. You got to go on with it.
Well, thanks for asking that question, Michael. Look,
You're welcome.
the similarities, between those guys is, how they make you feel.
No,
I,
I've got a better question. Okay. What's the
uh,
importance of making sure the agent you're sitting with actually sells what you have? Because every agent will wing it. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I can do that. But why is it important? Why can't the maths teacher teach English or history teach
I,
maths?
Look, I think after you interview a couple of real estate agents, after you interview a couple of teachers on the topic, it's got to be relevant to the topic. I'm selling a two-bedroom unit in DY. I'm selling a 100 meter squared warehouse in Brookvale. I think after you've interviewed a couple of real estate agents, you first of all want to see what if they've sold similar. And you can see that from Real Commercial or from realestate.com.au solds. They'll provide you with that track record. Make sure you verify it.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah,
pretty verified when it's on realestate.com.au and Real Commercial. Once you've done that, then I think a good old fashioned sit down and chat asking those questions probably sounds real stupid, but even just chat GPT the questions I should ask my commercial agent or the questions I should ask my residential agent. And that's going to give you a beautiful list to qualify whether they're equipped for the job.
yeah. And I think if you are equipped for it, just you don't need to really overdo it. Like we were talking, we're just looking at a project. They've got a big block. They're chatting to lots of agents, and they would just sort of be told call this agent, and then say we've got a potential development site. And his first couple calls, he obviously took the information in, but then when he spoke to us, and he could hear the questions, the number, not the numbers we were saying, but what the questions we were asking, how we responded to situations. He just, because I was saying it would be great to have you in, and he's like, I know you're the agent. I can tell from the conversation in our first couple minutes is totally different to the last 4 conversations I've had. You know what you're talking about. So, as you said, chat GPT, but also you've got to dig a little bit deeper, ask those questions and qualifying questions, because a lot of agents will have the great one line coming back, but do they have more substance behind it? And then I think the biggest check is the online portals. Like but most agents will always claim a sale,
Yeah,
so it's going to be there if they've done it.
yeah, yeah. And also references. I think sometimes you can just give out some really nice references. So from people that we've done the job for previously, but gives you an idea. But there you go. Do you remember your favorite school teacher? I definitely do. Why does that question make me so happy? I have no
Yeah.
idea. It's such a cool question. Hey, Bob, before we go, who was your second favorite teacher?
Oh, probably Miss Van Dyke. She was just fun. English teacher, we got to relax. It was good. Both teachers at Bagala Boys High School. Bagala Boys is very different these days. They're like number 1 in the state.
Yeah,
Very, very
wow.
well.
Well,
Yeah.
Chroma High is probably a little bit I think improved a little bit from where we were as well. But I think if you ever want to have a laugh, have a look at. Did you have a look at my school report card?
No, but I can
Yeah, go
imagine.
back on my about a week ago. I uploaded my school report
Yeah.
card onto Instagram,
Yeah.
and some of those comments there hilarious. I should have been in jail by now with those comments.
Anyway, but I
Good old school teachers.
yeah. Oh,
All right.
Thank you,
Have a
everyone.
lovely day. Thanks, Mr. Burgio. Everyone have a great Friday.